My name is Jackie Needis, and I'm the CEO of the Indianapolis Public Library, and I am so proud of the folks involved in our library and in the community who have been bringing us this wonderful event for 25 years.
In February, the library's African American History Committee presented the 25th annual Meet-the-Artists Exhibit and Gala. Nearly 2,000 guests attended the anniversary gala, where the city's premier African American artists displayed their works and were available to discuss them with patrons.
It is a history that I think must be remembered. I think that as Americans that it's definitely the elephant in the room, the whole history of racism, and this is really the grand poobah of what racism means. It really means to devalue and destroy life and power, and we have to address that. I really don't feel that we can ever move forward as a nation and claim our birthright in regards to being leaders of the free world when we can't even examine our own histories of atrocities.
I think it's highly appropriate. It's highly appropriate. I mean, it's important for young people to understand where things can lead when we don't learn to get along with each other, respect each other, and the diversity that is inherent in human beings.
This situation, I tried to use a theme of music. This was a special event, and so I wanted to put together a series of work. So I used a theme of a jazz series. So this series I did is called Sassy Song. It's a jazz band with various members of the jazz group together performing.
These 4 images here, I actually have this set here, and then there's another one by itself. All of these images are somewhat of a series all together. It's called While I Was Out, and basically they're somewhat of a mixture between, or a play on play, of portraits that I've taken throughout my life, and I kind of wanted to give it a little bit of a uniqueness by adding all the textures behind them, so they're all for double exposures. They're all basically kind of stories behind them that are somewhat personal, and that's why I have some of the images that have diaries and things that are written in it, but it's basically just beautiful portraits that I've taken of close people in my life.
Well, I've got 2 pieces in the show. One's kind of a comic relief piece. I'm boasting on myself. It's a mixed media piece with pop cans and found objects, and it's called The Gallery Opening. Then I have another piece called Spitting Image, which kind of depicts on how my ancestry from Africa flows in my art and in Indiana artists. Because certain pieces I do, I have a certain idea or something, and then I think the spirits take over, and I come out with something totally different. And in Spitting Image, I was doing a mask series a few years ago, traditional African mask, and then my own mask, interpretations of my own mask. And just reading some history about African mask makers and, the history behind that, and then me being influenced to make African masks and my own interpretational masks.
This free event also featured a number of musical and poetry performances.
Can you say hallelujah? You say hallelujah. Can you say hallelujah? You say hallelujah. Can you say hallelujah? Hallelujah. Say hallelujah. Hallelujah. I will sing.
So I represent all women. There is no more to say. You are women of the world who happen to live in the USA. So with sovereignty on your shoulders, why deteriorate your work? You are the epitome of greatness in all the lands that you work. You are a queen superior is what I meant to imply. What other creature can bleed for 7 days and still not die? That would be you, queen. You should be desiring more, and you should be carrying yourself as someone who kings built pyramids for. Look at that.
My mama gets high off of poetry. It makes her giddy. She reads and writes to us plenty. There's no deficit in literature, but we may be a little math needy. She takes us to coffee houses and theater shows. We've already met the last poets and seen August Wilson's lessons in pianos. My sister speaks in vibrato, but I like prose. And sometimes we leave early so daddy won't bloody her nose. And sometimes they argue about why she won't let it go, but she say those are just letters and words. And too many people fought and died for those letters and words. So she gotta hold on to teach us how to dream, to create heaven when hell is in the midst of things.
A highlight of this year's event was the return of Walter King Jr., who presented Magic of the Spellbinder and amazed the crowd with his illusions. The closing event for the evening was the ever-popular fashion show, coordinated this year by award-winning fashion designer Alpha Blackburn.
It's a special event, and I feel privileged that they asked me to do the show this year. And I thought in that this is an artist show, and I'm a visual artist as well as a fashion designer, that it would be a wonderful opportunity for me to share both. And it's been exciting to be a part of it.
It's high fashion and high chic. Elegance is when she walks, the gown talks. From fringes that move, let's kick me to the back. It's all about feeling good and feeling wonderful. Designer, that's Alpha Blackburn. Give it to her. Short dressing, that's a Raymond Gray. It's in velvet. It goes black velvet, goes the coat dress. It goes buttons to the front, and they're done in stones. And you're going to see later that Raymond Gray loves to do stones. It's stone the jacket, if you would please, and jewel the stones. Absolutely wonderful. It's leather goes the dress. It's the top that goes in leather. It's gray, and it's black, and it's ooh so elegant. And let me tell you something about this skirt. This is one of those ones too, if you drop something, you better find the lost and found. Don't bend over. It's back in. For those who can wear it, it's in. It's the little mini skirt, and that's the designer again. It's Robert Moore. Absolutely gorgeous. Come on, put your hands together.
Meet the Artists is presented annually by the library's African American History Committee and is made possible by the Crystal DeHaan Family Foundation and Friends of the Library through gifts to the Indianapolis Public Library Foundation. The exhibit is on display at Central Library through March 23rd.